All right, look at her. Shangela, I have been waiting for years to ask you what she was going to air when she said, I will air the building. Right. Because, and for those of you that don't remember, you made some tweet that was pretty...
I can tell you what the tweet was.
Let me go. Let's get in it. Because this is a mystery that only Angela Lansbury can solve.
It's a mystery only Shangela Lansbury can solve because I still don't know what she was talking about.
Because you made a tweet that referred to yourself as BenDeLaCreme. I think it was something to do with trans, because it was like...
Yeah, it was... Yeah. Well, it was, the whole trans controversy. Well,
right,
I mean, it had been boiling for a long time. I mean, this has been ongoing. But it had resurfaced or whatever. And to me, it just felt like an appropriate time to talk about the fact that my partner is trans. Yeah. And, because... first of all, that's just an important conversation because while trans identities are way more in the public eye, we don't talk a lot about like personal lives and dating. You know what I mean? Like there's still this weird separation there. So it seemed like the right time to speak up in that regard. And I think the tweet was something like, I was trying to just be like silly and playful, but I was like, because Ru had talked about how trans competitors would not be allowed on the show, and I just said, my boyfriend is trans, and BenDeLaCreme helped the person who tries to tell him what he can or can't do.
Right.
And that is the reality of Gus, is that he does not like to be told what to do, and that is the truth. So, I tweeted that, and then Shangela skimmed it briefly and only saw the hashtag BenDeLaCreme and so her response was not to the tweet at all, but then it became a whole thing because people was like, that was an inappropriate response to that tweet because that tweet is about something important.
Right.
And it's just like, all right, everybody chill out,
Because she said, you better watch out with that BenDeLaCreme stuff or I will air the building. First of all, I'm ready to air this building right now. We all should air the building.
I agree.
Let's just air the building. Shangela, don't worry, sweetie. We're doing it already. Air the building. And then that led to like more mystery of like, what is she going to air when she airs the building?
Well, I still don't know, frankly. We had a conversation over text where I sort of said like, hey, what is this about? I'm sorry if I like somehow offended you. I didn't mean to, but let's talk about it because I'm sure we can find a way to navigate this.
Yeah.
And it was I don't even quite remember. It was a sort of circular conversation. Anyway, she wound up, sort of apologizing on Twitter for it, but I still don't quite know. I think Shangela's got a lot of. I believe I'm under the impression that Shangela has feelings about me that she has not said to me directly, and I don't know. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I've misinterpreted some behaviors.
Sure.
But yeah, I still don't. And I think that genuinely Shangela actually thinks that maybe I am like not a very nice person or I'm like a conniving person. Certainly she sort of talked about that on the show.
Oh, right.
And so I don't know whether that's her finding her light and making some drama or whether that's genuinely what she thinks. But, it happened a while ago and it's not caused any drama since. And, she's living her life being successful and I'm living mine. And
don't worry. We're bringing it back. Airing the building.
So anyway, I don't know if she I would love to know what it was, and I would also love to if we could just like resolve it if it's still an issue, rather than have it be a Twitter war.
One thing about Shangela. Now we all know Shangela is super talented. She did great on All Stars.
Yeah.
But all of the cast roundly did not vote for her.
Yeah.
What do you think that, it just was so overwhelming. What do you think that was?
I think that to a certain degree, we were, I can't speak for the group.
Sure.
But I think that to a certain degree, we had all just been through it. Man, that is an exhausting production to be a part of, And by the time, at least if you're still in the competition, your adrenaline's going. We're all just over it. We all just we played the game. We went home. We didn't go home. We unwent home. It was like, so, we all were in this room, and I think the bottom line for me was that, and I know that some people might not think this was the right way to vote or whatever, but also there's kind of no winning in this situation. I mean, they set up the situation so that somebody would be angry at somebody.
Right, yeah.
Right? Like that's
part of the thing. That's the thing, yeah.
Somebody's going to be mad. Nobody's going to be pleased.
Right.
There's going to be talk on the internet. That's part of it. But for me, the big thing was I was just like, I'd kind of left because I was over the produced drama.
Yeah.
I then had to come back, and I didn't want to vote, but I did, and they told me I had to. And
right, you couldn't just hold up
my
a white
resolve
card.
was worn down. I mean, at that, how many times do you have the energy to walk off of Drag Race?
Totally.
So basically for me, it came down to the fact that we had those 4 little meetings, and 2 people talked to me like we were all the same people that we'd been for a month in the same room, just being humans for a month. And 2 people gave me the speeches that they prepared for the judges on the runway. That's a fine thing, and that's as good a shot as any at what's gonna. You don't know what's gonna get you where you want to go, But that's what they tried, and for me personally, I was like, you don't need to give me the Miss America speech. We've all been in this together, and just talk to me. And was that the right way to vote in that moment? I don't know. It's how I voted.
All right. Ooh, that was good. Hold on. Delicious. Look at her.
Rue.
The queen of the queens.
Oh my goodness. Like I said, just the first glimpse I ever got into the idea that this was a world or a life that I could live, I mean, I very much did not see a future for myself as a child, and seeing Rue during this weird interview, it was on VH1, it was a red carpet, they asked her what the most sensual fruit was, and she said an apple, and for some reason that's emblazoned in my mind. It was such a boring question, why are you asking that? But but I remember it so distinctly, and just being who and what is this? I identify with it. Oh.
What do you think of this sort of new trend of the girls from the show throwing major shade at RuPaul? For various reasons, what do you think of that? Because it seems like it's a new thing bubbling up.
Yeah.
As he's gotten more successful, there's more public shade in his direction.
Yeah, well, Rue is a figurehead for something larger. I think that people can take out some of their angst about what the show is like to film and what, various aspects of production on Rue that, again, I don't really know how production works, so I don't know what's up to Rue and what isn't. I also think it's a little bit of a backlash of deification, right? It's if we put anyone on a pedestal, and this speaks for me as well, anyone too high on a pedestal, it's, eventually you realize that they're a human, and Rue should be allowed to be a human. And she's done a lot of amazing things, and she also does some things that people don't like or that maybe are objectively wrong. And, it's honestly, I kind of think it's the mindset that's got us in our political climate. It's we have got to realize that people inherently have flaws, and that we have to kind of look at the full picture, and this kind of black and white thinking with no nuance is Rue is a flawed person, and that's not a bad thing to say. It's okay. We all are, Yeah. So instead of trying to crumble her down for making a misstep, I think that it's, allow her to be human.
Agreed. Look at Wait a second. Aww. It's your fella.
Yeah, it's Gus Lanza and Reggie the dog.
Oh, well, 2 of your fellas right there.
Yeah. Well, Reggie's actually a lady. We don't work with
sorry. Sorry.
We don't know how she identifies. She's never spoken with us about it.
You don't speak dog?
We're trying. We're still working on it. Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
Gus and I met on Scruff.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Very modern.
Yeah, about, I don't know, 3.5 years ago. Our anniversary is in July of our first day. I don't know. Anyway, it was about
the
4 years
Scruff
ago.
anniversary is in May, and then the real anniversary is
Scruff-iversary, yeah. Because, I was on the road so much, and we started chatting, and we really just kept in contact over Scruff and then texting for like months before we ever met in person. And he just made me laugh a lot and was really cool. And then and he had not really watched Drag Race. And that was like a huge thing. Because I was, I had been single for like 5 years. I really had like focused on getting my like career in place, and that was working. And now I was like, okay, well now I'm ready to kind of like start working on this personal part of myself. So I was just trying to go on a lot of dates. And man, it is nearly impossible post Drag Race.
I bet.
People would like lie to me and say they didn't know who I was, and then it would turn out it was a meet and greet,
Wow.
But, so it was a huge initial thing that Gus had not seen my season, but had seen me perform in Seattle and liked my work, which is very important to me. Obviously, it's a big part of my life.
That was your live version of you, not like somebody else's edit of your personality.
It's like the stuff I like write and direct and curate. So it's really like the truest expression of like what I care about as an artist. We chatted for a while, and then we started hanging out, and he came out to Provincetown to visit me, and it was like kind of it was a slow and steady. I've never had a relationship that, rather than like burning really hot right at the beginning and then kind of like you're gradually like peters out, it's like only gotten stronger the longer we've been together, and we're figuring out how to mesh our weird lives together, and it's working. And I haven't talked about this publicly. He proposed on New Year's Eve.
Wow! Congratulations, sweetie!
You heard it here first.
That's great!
Yeah, I haven't really been talking a lot about it because it feels like I don't want everybody's like...
Yes.
It's like everybody puts their stuff on Marriage About You suddenly. Yeah. They're like, when... I don't know, and it's... So I was like not quite ready for that, but it was very, very romantic. He did a very good job.
I love it. You know what? I think that is the perfect place to end. Congratulations, BenDeLaCreme and Gunn. Thank you for being here, sweetie. You just, you've told me all the mysteries, the secrets, the tea. We aired the building. We did it all.
We did. Oh my goodness.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Johnny.
Such a pleasure. And we can't wait to see what else you got coming, because we all know it's going to be delicious and delightful. Terminally delightful, actually. Terminally delightful.
I can't wait to show you. Oh, you caught my tongue disease.
I did. Oh, thank you all for watching. Thanks to beautiful Miss Lady Red. Yes, honey. And thanks to Gus in the background there. Congratulations. And to BenDeLaCreme, honey. Yes. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you next time on Hey Qween. And look at her. Hit it. Look at her. Hey, Lady Red. Are you looking? She's looking. BenDeLaCreme, that's right. What? Where is it? Where is it? Look at her. Bye, everybody. Bye, camera. Now, camera, shoot. Look at her.